Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Alien Ladders Triple G, this time with a PlayStation 4 video of a demo. The demo I'll be trying out today, well, the demo I tried out today, was Final Fantasy VII. Now, I wasn't really that hyped for this game, because, I played the original Final Fantasy VII, I have my memories of it, I had my fun with it, I enjoyed it immensely, the story, the characters, the specials, and it's just in my childhood has a mark. Especially because I share it with my family, with my brother. So I was like, yeah, they're gonna make a new one, they're gonna make a remake, yeah, whatever. Because, I already tried the Resident Evil remake, but the Resident Evil remake was different from this one. Because Resident Evil remake was just, you had a shooting game and now you revamped the graphics and you have, instead of having a stationary camera, you can have free camera now. So it's just one of those expected updates. But with Final Fantasy it's completely different. The game is now not only graphically substantially better, it's also more of an action game. You control the character and you can do attacks, you have positioning and you can attack enemies and use abilities, and that's all great. But also, graphically this game looks amazing. I mean, I sometimes just stop looking around, looking at Cloud, his clothes, the wool on his sweater, and the ruggedness on his shoulder protection, and the bolts. And then I looked around the scenario. Some of the scenario is quite empty, but when you're outside and you see the great vent, and everything, I was like, whoa, this is another level, If you watch the movies of Final Fantasy VII as children, or you watch, I think it was a movie that came out 1 year or 2 years ago about Final Fantasy 15, you look at it and you go like, yeah, one day games are going to be like that. And this game is like that. I mean, it's just that good. It's really, not only that, but all the commands are really responsive. The camera sometimes has a little bit of issues, but it's really good. It's really good. And also it's a lot faster because it's an action game. When it was an RPG, you took a long time. You had spontaneous encounters, and they stopped you in your tracks a lot of times. But not on this one. This one, just you have an encounter, you kill the enemies, and you move on.
Looks like you're next.
So I really enjoyed it. This demo only goes to the first boss. But the problem everybody's talking about, and it is something I consider a problem, is the game mechanics, or the battle mechanics. They wanted to elevate this game to action, but they didn't want to leave the turn-based, so what we got is like a mixed match of the two. Because, well, if you play in classic, it's a lot more easy because the characters automatically heal, they heal you up, and they use their abilities, and it's fine. But if you try it in normal, like I did, and like so many people did, and some people are talking about being hard, it is hard. It's too much micromanaging for an action game. You have to switch characters, choose abilities, choose items, go back to the character. Sometimes you have to wait for your TBS, which is the bar that allows you to do specials and abilities and items to build up. So you're kind of always going back and forth with that. Always going back and forth with the characters. I had multiple times problems with positioning the camera because I switched characters. I was hitting an enemy, and I switched the camera and I was hitting another one. So I had to switch back to the position of the first one to do a lock on, then go back to the second one. It's with a lot of enemies, and especially when you're going to have like 4 characters, selecting between all the characters, all the targets, and all the abilities. It sounds like there's no problem because when you see the footage, you see it in slow motion. It's like, oh, it's like a pause, but it's really not. You really have time constriction. You're trying to select everything at once. You can just pause the game and select the right character, the right ability, and something like that. No, you have to switch between the characters and then choose the abilities and all that. And I admit I died. Cloud died a couple of times during the boss encounter because I was left wandering around, just running around all these gimmicks. I even have to pause the game at some point just to collect my wits and say, okay, I have to do this and this and this and this. So yeah, it's not easy. They could have made this a lot simpler and a lot easier if it was just an action game. You can make it like each button was a different weapon. Like you're hitting with Cloud, you're using your sword, and you switch to Barret to use your. You don't have to switch Barret. I mean, you press another button to fire, and you switch automatically to Barret. To use abilities, they use combination of buttons and triggers in PlayStation 4, but they didn't do it. Also, there could be a way that like in Final Fantasy 12, where you pre-select commands for your characters. You know, this is going to heal, this one is going to heal, this is going to defend, this is going to use this ability or that ability. That will make the combat a lot faster, a lot easier. You know, not having to constantly switch the character, or no, heal me, or use this ability or something like that. And to me, was the worst of all. There's no way to change the button configuration, not that I know of, and that to me was a real problem, because I'm used to games like Metal Gear Revengeance and Devil May Cry, where the triggers is actually where you switch through characters or switch through weapons, and here I had to switch with the arrows, and I couldn't really change that. And I wanted to change that. I wanted to change the way he runs. I don't like the way he runs in the R2. I want to put it on the L3, or maybe just make it automatic after a while. Also the dodge. I rarely use the dodge, and I rarely use the defense, because I was switching between characters too much. You know, if I was just playing with Cloud, doing all this thing, yeah, I would focus myself on, okay, I'm gonna defend this, and I'm gonna dodge here and all that. But because I have to switch between him and Barrett, and to use abilities and heals and potions and all that, I really couldn't focus myself on that. So yeah, they could have done it. My hope is, when the game comes out, because the game uses materia, and if you remember, materia is kind of used like programming. You know, you can program a certain character when his health is low, he heals himself, or heals others, or uses abilities or something like that. Maybe that's what the devs want. Maybe that's what the devs think about. Wait, when people play normal, they're gonna be able to program the behavior of the characters in that way, like Final Fantasy 12, or like in classic mode, but you're playing in normal. That might be the case. I don't know. We don't know. That said, after trying out the demo, I was kind of hyped to play it. I really was. You know, at first I was like, it's gonna be Final Fantasy 7. It's gonna be just, you know, a bunch of reworked graphics, maybe a little bit of combat, but that's it. But no, the game is fast-paced. It has a lot of action. I like action games. I just think that, you know, if they change this the right way, I might pick it up. If not, it's going to be like Darksiders 3 all over again. You know, Darksiders 3 changed the mechanics, you know, to be more Soulsborne-like, and like in this one. And you know, when you mix two very different mechanics, especially for the fans, it's very complicated. And to me, it was complicated. It wasn't turn-based, and it wasn't action. I want it to be a lot more action than what it is. If I can play this game in classic and ease through it, that's fine. Ease through it, I mean, a little bit of challenge is always good, but you know, if I can just understand the mechanics a lot faster, I might do it. If they don't do that, it's going to be like Darksiders 3 again, and I'm not going to pick it up, because no matter how much I enjoy Darksiders, and I enjoy Action Mans, and I enjoy Final Fantasy 7, I'm not going to go through an experience that I don't find enjoyable, you know? That said, I really like the demo. I hope everybody tries it out. It's right now on PlayStation 4. If you enjoyed it, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And as always, have a great game, guys.